Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda Mae and this is my channel Ardith Design, where we celebrate counted cross stitch, sustainable stitching, and pugs. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back and spending some time with me. I have a bunch of questions and I have some stitching to show you. So let's get started. My first question was about my home tour and about all the different trees that I put up. And yes, I thrifted most of the trees and was gifted ornaments and got things here and there over the last couple of years. I love it. I firmly believe in putting up twinkle lights. This time of year is always hard and difficult and stressful, and having a little bit of Christmas cheer, holiday cheer, twinkle lights sure does lift my spirits. I have a dollar store tree in my bathroom and I set it inside of a vintage glass bowl and then put the fun rocks and lights in it to make that effect. And I appreciate all of your kind words about my home tour. My next question is about Facebook Live, and I was asked what I'm going to be talking about on Facebook Live. So here it is, grand debut discussion. We are going to talk on Facebook Live, which is going to be next week, Tuesday, December 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to show you how to make a cross stitch patch that you can put on your fabric, on your jeans, on your envelopes, whatever you want to do. So this is not the quilted finish where you see like the beautiful cut work and the four sides. And no, this is literally taking your cross stitch and making it into a patch that you sew directly onto another textile. And this textile is one that I designed and created and sewed together all by myself. So we're gonna talk about this at Facebook Live. Just fun fact, if you are interested in getting the supplies, I have a spoon flower shop where you can print custom fabric. And if you get one fat quarter, so a fat quarter, and you do it on the linen cotton canvas, which is this, you get 2 panels in that one fat quarter to make like 2 envelopes, and then in the center are 2 panels for a needlebook. And what's really cool about this is that you can make your own needlebook. Let me show you. Okay, so we're not doing this on Facebook Live, but I just want to show you this. This is my needlebook, and I used vintage ribbon and one of my favorite Valentine's fabrics. And I show how to make this and talk about this in my upcoming book that's coming out shortly. Yay! And if you haven't guessed it, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is a love and a cutesy wootsy heart thing, a heart book. It's in its final stages of being sent off to the printer, the file being sent off. So thank you all for your interest. I will tell you another little tidbit secret. You will see, and these are 2 of the projects that are in the book, but there are 12 other projects that are in the book too, including punch needle. So there's counted cross stitch and punch needle. Yay! Yay! Oh, and fun fact, my envelope conveniently holds my Stitching Friends address book. So you get yourself a fat quarter of the fabric. You make up these little envelopes. Oh, look, and then in real life, apparently I can't put stuff into a bag. You get a fat quarter of the fabric, you make up an envelope for you, and then you make up an envelope for a stitching friend, and look, then you take it to retreats and all the things. Yay! So that's my news. Oh, I also had a question about seeing everything I had Wisconsin in my house. I want to let you all know that I married into the Wisconsin legacy. My husband, longtime family, in Wisconsin. There's like monuments and stuff, like war monuments. And anyway, I grew up in California, but I married into Wisconsin, and all of that entails. I had never, when I went to Wisconsin for the very first time, when my husband and I, when we were dating, he told me to, take it easy on the butter. And I'm like, this is delicious. And I'm like shoveling it into my mouth. I was not prepared. California dairy cows have nothing on Wisconsin dairy. Lesson learned. So thank you all for your comments and questions about that in my home tour. As you all know, I love counted cross stitch. So let's talk cross stitch. I'm gonna put my panels and stuff away. I had to put the pugs away because as soon as I start filming, they start sumo wrestling, as Jenny Long Dog Stitcher would say. Isn't that right? So I have one Save the Stitches to show you. And I got this a couple weeks ago. I will say that I waited about 2 months before I finally purchased it. I gave it ample time for someone else to claim it. I will tell you all, and I'm going to insert photos at the end of the video of stuff that I found over the last couple weeks that I have not purchased and brought home. Y'all, I literally cannot bring home anything else until I turn the stuff that I have purchased like into project bags, into pillows, de-stash it, sell it on eBay, all the things. I physically cannot save any more stitches right now, and that pains me in my heart. I can't do it alone, so throwing it all out to you all, stitchers, my friends, if you are financially able to save the stitches, please do so. It's not like these things just like go away to good homes eventually. Like, they're on the shelf. If they don't sell, usually they get thrown away. The other option, depending on the charity or the organization, like if they don't sell at one location, they'll get sent to like the bargain basement bin, like the pound stores bins. And then if they don't sell there, they literally go to the landfill. So I'm not saying that to peer pressure you or to make you go out and spend money that you don't have. But if you see something and you're like, and then you go back to the thrift store and it's still there and they've marked it down half price or 75% off and it's like clearance, get it, think about it. How can you repurpose it? So with all of that being said, I picked this up. It had been sitting languishing for about 2 months. And I think it did not get purchased because it says, thanks teacher, 1988 to 89. Now, herein lies the issue. This is highly personalized. Do I take it out of the frame and remove this back stitching and have a nice school sampler? Do I leave thanks teacher, take out the date, someone could repurpose it, or do I leave it as is and try to resell it? But is there a market for somebody having a teacher gift from 30 plus years ago? Again, all questions, rhetorical. I'm not saying I have the right answer, but here's my Save the Stitches. I did pick up, because everyone needs one, sorry, not everyone needs one. Apparently I needed one though. A gnome, and it's a teapot koozie. And y'all know I love gnomes, so this could not be left behind. I've got to wash it still, 1979. Love it for my teapot koozie. And yes, I purchased a real teapot. I had like the little miniature teapot for a one pot of, but now the kids like drinking tea, so I gotta have a bigger receptacle for tea. All right, now we're gonna talk stitching. You saw 2 of my secret stitches that I had been working on that I had not been able to show you, my needle book. And yes, it's got cross stitch. I designed it. It's cross stitch. But I've done some actual stitching in my Mid-Atlantic Pug Rescue bag that seems to just follow me around the house because I have no designated stitching spot. I stitch where I can, when I can. Do these come with me on kid activities? Yes, they do. Am I that parent sitting there cross-stitching and not speaking to other parents? Yes, I am. And here we go. I am so excited. I have almost have a finish on the Blackbird Designs Blessings Be Thine. Nail biter at the end here. I literally played chicken with the last piece of green floss from this, and I'm using a limited edition green, which is Gentle Arts No Name Gentle limited edition that I got in the box that I won from Just Cross Stitch for being one of their contest winners. They didn't pay me, they paid me in goodies. And yes, I get taxed on those goodies. So I'm stitching with those goodies. This is happening. So here we go. Blessings Be Thine. Blackbirds. This is from the Home from the Holidays book, and I love it. I played chicken with the green here. So I was thinking, because I made a mistake here on the T, I was gonna rip out the T and then move it over and then redo this here. I literally have no more, and I can't ask you all for any more because it has no name. I don't know what I stitched with. I got cocky thinking I could do it all, right? No, I ran out. So the mistake is here. That's fine. I stitched my husband's initial and my initial, and that is charted in the chart is the AA, so I left that. Right here, it's charted with the B and A for, I think, for Barb and Alma. I am just going to extend this bouquet floral up and over here. I'm leaving everything in here as is. I made a mistake on this. I love this piece here, and as you can see, this is as charted right here, this piece down here. Here, I was off by 1, and I have a hard time frogging things. It gives me anxiety to frog things. So I just thickened up the borderline where I made the mistake, and yes, they look different, and I think it looks fantastic. The star, I'm using this was my own thread conversion. The green is the Gentle Art No Name limited edition. Then I'm using the grits color. And then the red is the cayenne red that I learned about from Dying to Stitch, which I love that red. I ended up buying 3 additional skeins of the red. I love it. And this is on a No Name mystery fabric that I got at Goodwill. Thank you. Yes, yes. So grits. Weeks Dye Works grits, and I'm using the floss rings that Diana of It Is Kismet recommended. I bought the pack of 36, and I ended up putting it in my recommended products page on my website. Those are products that I have physically purchased myself or have physically touched, like the library books. I didn't necessarily purchase the book, but I physically looked through the book. All of those product recommendations I have on my website, and it says my product recommendations. So I have these floss rings there. If you're interested, you just click on the link. It is an Amazon affiliate link. Just letting y'all know. So that is in my Tiffany bag, my Express Life Tippa bag, and yes, I have used this so much, it's I gotta give it a rest. Girl's getting haggard. I am carrying around because apparently I'm losing my scissors everywhere. I'd like to blame it on the children or the pugs, but no, it's me. It's me. I'm doing it. But I have it in my dollar store avocado bag, and it's so cute. Avocado, with my little red scissors and all the things. So I'm trying to keep a handle on my stuff here. I worked a little bit more on my Carriage House samplings. And the issue right now, why I have not been stitching on this Comfort Lighthouse more, is I realized that I've taken spools of sulky thread because I did the sulky conversion. And I realized what I've done is I've been taking the Rob Peter to Pay Paul, I've been using colors and then taking them out and then not putting them back and then losing them. So I went to stitch on this a couple times, and a couple of the colors that I wanted to use, like the 1076, the sulky for her hair, the mermaid's hair, it's in another project and I can't find it. So I think what I'm going to need to do is buy multiple spools of the same color of sulky thread to have them in this various projects, because, okay, so the spool that's there, super convenient, super easy. You just thread the one strand and you're good to go, right? Well, yes, however, I can't really break this spool up. You need a second spool. Whereas like the strands here, if say I want to split my grits, if I want to take that Weeks Dye Works, that 5-yard skein, and split it in half, like divide it and put half of it in one project and half of it in the other, I can do that because it's loose thread. I can't do that with sulky. So I just need to bite the bullet and buy more sulky. It's nobody's fault. I'm using too many things. So a couple weeks ago, I had said that I had lost a sulky spool. I blamed it on a pug because they have found them and put them in their mouths and chewed, and that's a whole nother story. But I realized that I am literally using the same spool of $12.95 sulky in 3 different projects. Not 1, not 2, 3 different projects. I found it in my Barbara Anna Halloween stitch that I'm doing my accidental over one on my custom purple fabric. Yeah, that one. So I found it in the Barbara Anna piece. I was like, there it is. I can work more on my Yellow Submarine, which is also by Blackbird Designs. The full conversion in sulky, except for pomegranate, because, hello, gorgeous. Could not substitute that pomegranate. So I got my $12.95. I've almost got the whole border done here. I have to finish this because I got the spool here. $12.95. I'm using it in this. And then $12.95, I've also used it as a conversion in here. Like the house here is $12.95, and I think a couple other accents here in $12.95. I think the mermaid tail has it. So I have to work on one to work on the other, and then work on the Barbara Anna piece. And then buy more sulky. That's the moral of the story. This Comfort Light Houses on Sea Fog by R&R Reproductions. I absolutely love this. I cannot wait to finish this project so I can cut it out and use this fabric for something else because it is perfection. I love it. I have a really tattered and torn working copy in here in a thrift store bag. This is my Stars Hollow Stitchery bag, Erica D. House. She made this. I bought it off of her Etsy shop. I have 2 projects in here, the Yellow Submarine and also my impulse purchase on eBay, my Barnyard Stocking Stuffers by Needle Love. I got this in impulse. I had it on my watch list on eBay, and the seller sent me an offer, and I countered the offer, and the seller accepted it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm buying this. Well, they said it came with all the floss. It did not. That's okay though. But I am using, it came with the fabric. So one of the stockings was started, and it was this one, and it's the cow. I added the green and the red as charted. And then I started on the little sheep, again, with the colors as charted. The eBay listing, it came with some of the floss, but not all of it. So I have to go and find some more floss so I can finish this. What I like about this, and the directions even say, stitch up one a night, and it can take the stitcher an average of 2 to 5 hours per little stocking. Apparently I have an affinity for stockings because I have the June, October, and Halloween stockings from Blackbird Designs that are on my list to stitch. I bought the Needle Love stockings, and I think for 2020 my goal is to design a couple of my own stockings. So comment below and tell me, is there something that you would like to see made into a stocking? These are little farmyards, so there's like the cow, the sheep, the bird. Barb and Alma have done a fantastic job with the months and the seasons, and I can't top their Halloween stockings, so I'm not even like gonna try. It's not a competition. This is something that I've told my kids as well. I am honored and thrilled to stitch and be inspired by other stitchers, but it's not a competition. I would like to as Deb and Liz say, share the joy of needlework. And I would like to add my own like flair to the stocking brigade and have all the stockings, right? So if you have a theme that you would like to see for 2020 in a stocking, comment below. I'm leaning towards like nautical. And I say that because my new book about to come out is Valentine's and Love. So cute, red heart and stuff. There's no stockings in that. I'm not doing any more Valentines for 2020 yet. But let me know if there's anything you would like to see. Again, I'm leaning towards like nautical and what that entails. Let me know. So I have that. Again, my 2 projects. I got the sulky spools. And again, I gotta finish these projects so I can put this stuff back into my organizers. The sulky comes with these big like plastic awesome organizer bins. And it's looking pretty sparse because I have strung them about. Oh, Secret Stitch. Secret Stitch, can't show you that. And my last piece that I have been working on is in my Boobies apiary bag. You know it, you love it. It's Autumn Dream. One of these days I'll be done with it. I have it clipped. I love this piece. I'm stitching it in all of the called for DMC or the DMC color conversion. I got the leaf mostly done. And I'm working my way down and around. Let me hold this up. So I got, am I even holding it correctly? Yes, I got this leaf done. I'm working on this flower. I'm bringing this down and around. This is on a 32 count roasted almond linen I got from the Stitching Post in Catonsville, Maryland. I really like it. I have very little margin here. I'm debating how I would like to finish this. I cannot wait to get the house, the pumpkin house, and the bird down in there. I wanted to have this done by Thanksgiving, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, and that's okay. I love all of the pieces that I'm stitching on. I find joy in every single one of them. As I said earlier, my book coming out has 14 projects that I have not shared with you. So once my book is out, I will share all of those projects with you, do a flip through of the book, show you the projects in real life, and all the things. It's starting to rain here in Maryland. This is Tuesday night, December something, 9th, 10th. It's become a blur because I'm a parent and I don't sleep because I have small children. I take my son to his 30-month well baby appointment tomorrow. It's supposed to snow tonight. Parenting is hard. I appreciate you. I appreciate your stitching. I appreciate you following me here on Flosstube, on social media, on my webpage, for buying my notebooks, for supporting me as a mother and artist. Just know that I appreciate you. I see you. And I hope you have a beautiful week of stitching. I'll see you next week for Facebook Live and for Flosstube. Take care. Look, it's the strangely large Whitman sampler box. Yum! I designed a shirt this week. My kids had oddly specific request, and there it is. I made my little pug model with my book because, well, yeah. Here is a piece I found at the thrift store, and it is like a filet crochet. Here is a counted cross stitch stitched. It looks like 1/2 on Ada, and it has some staining. It says Rejoice. There was a pair of stamped cross stitch and crowel embroidery pieces. This piece was huge. It was gorgeous in this specialty stitching. It was really nicely done. I just could not bring it home with me, unfortunately. The next is a long stitching, and it's also an embroidery piece. It looks like it was a kit. It has different bears doing different little things with the long stitching, and unfortunately it did have some staining, so I'm not sure about that. This is a stamped cross stitch. You can see each cross individually on the canvas that got left behind as well. Saving the stitches is important, and I do my best. I hope you do too. Have a great week.